is going to talk about how forest tourism brings the world together.
Hello everyone, my name is Ponte. Thank you for being here today. And I'm going to share observations that we've had over 2 years plus running forest bathing excursions with travelers going through Munich in Germany. Forest tourism brings the world together. What does that even mean? Well, I'm going to tell you a story, share some facts, and give you my thoughts. I hope it's a thought-provoking conclusion at the end. Everything within 15 minutes, so wish me luck. So, luckily we had already some introductions on the meaning of forest bathing, which is the original language in Japanese. It will be Shinrin-yoku. And it's an activity where people relax by synchronizing or harmonizing with the forest, as Dr. Miyazaki, an expert in the field, has said. So it basically was created back in 1982 by the director of Japanese Forest Agency. And the main goal was actually to attract people to the forest because we feel good. We all know that. But the main idea, the main hope was to spark a sense of protection and conservation of the woodlands in general, which is so important. This green mark is going to come through my whole presentation, and these are key facts that are crucial to my end point. So basically, as we've seen before this morning, it's a guided outdoor practice that involves a sensory immersion in forest environment. Mindful presence is key. Slow pace, as you also mentioned, to allow the senses to fully capture the surroundings. Our style, our particular style, is to encourage a mindful and contemplative state to further enhance the connection with nature. Obviously, all these features, there's a common question we always hear: what's the difference with a hike? Well, this is the difference with a hike. Big difference. The science behind it. We have these amazing researchers that have been doing a lot of work for decades to try to explain why we feel so good in the forest. Dr. Miyazaki, for example, has pioneered the scientific research, doing his first experiments back in 1990. In 2003, after seeing so much evidence of the physiological benefits, he coined the phrase forest therapy that we use every single day. Many other researchers in Japan and around the globe have joined the efforts in proving these amazing benefits to health, such as reducing stress, boosting immunity, and lowering blood pressure, among many others. Another familiar face, several remarkable findings and publications regarding the possible effects of the immune system have been done by the world-renowned Dr. Ching Li, which we are so honored to have in this Congress. I had the great honor of meeting Dr. Miyazaki in 2018, and this is something that he always talks about in his presentations. And we heard about biophilia also this morning. So humans and direct ancestors have evolved in nature for 7 million years. And we've only moved out to urban places in 2.5 centuries, basically at the beginning of the Industrial Revolution. So we basically spend 99.99% of our existence in nature. So our genes are adapted to nature. And it is our original home. Another big check mark. So I'm going to talk to you about what we do, what we have done. And it's a Shinrin-yoku session through Airbnb experiences in Germany over 2 years. And we've had 200 people that we've interviewed at the end. And so these are the key points that we did. This is the actual forest that we did it in. I probably know every single tree in that place, personally. So we normally do the initial gradual transition from a regular hiking pace to a slower pace because it's so important to have that slower speed. We do guided exercises for sensory activities, and we stop every now and again. We call them stations, where we do the performance of these exercises. These exercises are simple suggestions to have a deeper connection with nature through the senses. So basically we invite participants to breathe with the trees, imagining the interchange of CO2 and oxygen in real time. Feel and connect with clear water nearby a creek, but not just as water, that you wash your hands with, but as our own essence. We're made of water in a high percentage. So that creates a pretty important connection with people. Listen to the sounds of forest very attentively. And then one thing that we normally do ourselves, this is our key feature, it's we do a guided meditation that we call an open a heart connection. And what it is, it basically encourages participants to feel a sense of belonging in nature, to remember how it was to be in there as your home, not as an external place. We have received a tremendous amount of feedback that this particular aspect, people have reached much deeper and more transformative levels of connection with nature and felt a more minimum personal and interpersonal experience as a result. Another green check mark. This is a little bit showing what we did, the different exercises like smelling, hearing, barefoot walking and texture, touch, the meditation part and observation, closely observation of nature. Okay, these are the stats, and this we got from Airbnb, and it really shocked us in a good way. Our activity was one of 30 offered in the Munich area, and over a 2-year period we had about 100 people that we interviewed. The age groups were from teenagers to over 60, and but the majority, which we found really, really impressive and important, is between mid-20s and mid-30s. These are chosen by people spontaneously. We didn't pick anybody. These are just travelers that go through Airbnb and pick things to do. That's why the groups were very highly diverse and at random. So, of the 30 activities, which also offer things to do in Munich, included a lot of Bavarian activities, including water beer and fun things to do. People spontaneously picked us as the favorite. We received this from from Airbnb, saying that our activity was the most popular, the one that people picked the most, and with the best rated. We have 100% 5-star reviews. I may be very proud. So besides being a very promising statistics for forest tourism, what else did we learn? Well, as we spent more time in the forest, participants became more relaxed, which was expected for us that we knew about it. They felt more connected with nature, but they also felt more connected with each other, complete strangers. Big check mark on that one. It's like a community atmosphere came out of each group, and they were, like I said, complete strangers just an hour before. So we observed that forest therapy not only is beneficial at an individual level, but it can also foster social connections and cohesion among diverse groups of people. Now, what can this be? Well, this could be a huge clue. I don't know if you know this amazing person, Suzanne Simard. She's done tremendous research for over 30 years on forest in Western Canada. And she found three main points, three main features of what forests have. First of all, the interconnectedness of forests, the wood wide web, as she calls it. It's an underground network of fungal colonies that actually connect all the roots of the trees in a symbiotic manner. This connectivity enables the exchange of nutrients, carbon, even water, and information among the trees. So it's a collaboration, it's not a competition as we normally think. The mother tree role is the role of the older trees in the forest that nurture the smaller trees around them, greatly increasing their survival rate. This is a huge key point for loggers. So she found that, in fact, forests are complex and dynamic communities with their own intelligence and resilience. So this is to finalize, that's the studies that she did. That map, those circles are different trees. The larger the circle, the older the tree. And those connections are actual connections that she tracked by tracking DNA specific to each of the specimens. So those are connections are not, they're actually real. This is her imagining what goes on underground. So meanwhile, above the ground, down below, we witness geographical and social differences disappear. Nationalities, skin color, and even visible religious orientations became invisible. This is what I like to believe. There's nothing scientific about this, but could it be that this is our common denominator with humanity? It's like one of those lines that comes from the tree underground to other trees also pops out of the ground and connects with our heart. I truly believe that it's our DNA recognizes this universal forest community from our evolution. And regardless of where we come from, we feel at home and together after synchronizing with that forest. Who wouldn't want to go on a trip like this? So, in essence, we strongly believe that through our common bond with nature, forest tourism can indeed bring the world together. Thank you.
Thank you so much for this inspiring presentation. Now I invite you all for a short break.
If you have any questions, we can talk in the coffee break.
Of course, I'm also available for